If you're a fan of the website Gearspace and a fan of Acustica audio plugins, you may have heard recently that there was a massive amount of censorship that happened on the Gearspace forum a couple days ago. And there goes the air conditioner right on cue as soon as I start recording. Anyway, I'm going to talk past it. So, unfortunately for Gearspace, I actually, the morning of the deletion, I was taking screenshots of these messages because I didn't have time to read them at that point, and I actually had the assumption that they may get deleted, and I was right. So as you can see right here, the Sound Junkie said that 65 posts were deleted all in a row, and yeah, possibly some kind of record. And if you go on this particular message right now, it looks like nothing was deleted. They had all the messages that were deleted all in a row, and you could see the usernames, you could see some of the reasons they were deleted. And actually I am gonna turn the AC off now. Sorry, I'm kind of doing this like in a live fashion, but anyway, let's look at what actually went down here. So here's the company Sound Techniques, and the president, Danny White, responded to people who were speculating on what Acustica Audio's Sunglow plugin, which is still not released at this moment in time. So he responded to the message, and he claimed that a studio in London called Sleeper Sounds allowed Acustica Audio to do some measurements, and apparently they only did it for an hour, according to these statements. Okay? So that was that. And I took these screenshots around 6 o'clock in the morning, actually 5:30 in the morning. So that was, let's see, 12. So he posted that, I guess, around 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we have somebody named Gareth Connor. Oh, okay, so he works for Sound Techniques as well. And actually a guy who, I believe he is the head of the Boulevard Studio or Boulevard Recording, something like that. Apparently there was a fire at their studio, and anyway, they ended up getting a Sound Techniques console, and people were sharing these videos, and then he caught wind of it and contacted Sound Techniques. So that's what set off the firestorm, was all these people speculating on what Sunglow actually might be. So Gareth Connor, ST stands for Sound Techniques, said that Sunglow is modeled on the Sound Techniques ZR7064 channel module and ZR7072 compressor. And they're talking about how no one's been in contact with Sound Techniques. Sound Techniques never knew about this. And Clay Blair, there we go. That's the guy who owns the expensive console. So let's see. He's a chief designer of Sound Techniques different products. And you guys can pause this and read the message later. I'm trying to keep this video as briefly as I can to show you guys the kind of censorship that goes on at Gearspace. And it's really sad. It's really, really sad that people spend their time to type out messages, and then these moderators who don't even have the balls to show their face at the AES convention back in 2018 when I called you all out for deleting my review that I left. I left a good review on a Stam Audio, on the Stam Audio SA76, and they removed my review. Okay, they removed my review, and I called him out, and the guy, his name is Graham, he said he was going to be at the AES convention. I said, Graham, I'm going to be there too. Let's hash it out. We can hash it out off camera, on camera, it doesn't matter to me. Let's speak man to man. But no, he didn't have the guts to do that. What did he do instead? He blocked me on Twitter, or somebody who works at Gearspace blocked me on Twitter. So yeah, I'm gonna call them out every opportunity I have because I don't appreciate it. I do not appreciate free speech being censored, no matter what it is. I'm an American after all. Anyway, and then somebody said, all right, if the issue is that one of the knobs has this design on it, the reality is it was taken from a British fighter aircraft. There you go. So we have a bunch. Basically, the argument went down that these different companies, Acustica Audio and Sound Techniques, were borrowing one another's ideas. Sound Techniques took this from the military, and they also took somebody took the A-Range design, which is a famous console, and then they reincorporated it into a modern design. And then somebody also said, well, isn't it interesting because the ZR console took designs from Baxandel and Pultec. So it just became this big old loop back and forth. But honestly, it was one of the most interesting threads. That's why I screen capped this stuff. I thought it was one of the most interesting, I wouldn't call it a dialogue, a trialogue, quadalogue, quintupologue. You know, it was a good discussion amongst people that are, you know, talking about issues dealing with intellectual property and things like that. And then somebody named Hamburg jumped into the discussion here, and I think this is Giancarlo responding, and they're talking about how they've sampled all these different consoles, all these different audio products, and then what they do is they actually, to avoid IP theft issues, they change the knob design, change the button design to try to avoid market confusion. So, like I said, Hamburg was very upset about all this stuff. I forget who Hamburg is, but anyway, that's his message. And I was really looking forward to Sunglow. I have a list of different... So what I've been doing with my mix templates is making different recording consoles for the mix prep stage. And so, API, Neve. I was starting to do Trident, but I didn't really have anything. I only have I have something from Red Rock Sound and one thing from Analog Obsession, but it wasn't like a whole suite of plugins. And then when this was announced, I was like, wow, I'm gonna have this, and I'm really looking forward to it because the A-Range equalizer is it's been told that it's one of the best snare drum equalizers out there, and also it's very good on guitar. It's a good overall recording console in general. And anyway, going down this list of this is just so this is Giancarlo explaining how they do things at Acustica, and talking about how if you go back in time, a lot of designs are borrowed after other designs, and it's the evolution of recording technology. And to say that, somebody's taking one person's trademark over another is, it's kind of ludicrous. And, at first I was like, well, it's kind of a cheap argument, but it's actually true. It's actually very true. And you can't equate a recording console that looks beautiful in pictures, that draws in customers, that you can record with. I can't record with Acustica Audio plugins. I can't plug a microphone cable into an Acustica Audio plugin. So to try to equate a recording console with all it entails with a piece of software, it's just not the same thing. And they've already ruled at the Supreme Court in the United States that you cannot copyright a sample of something. You can't, copyright a piece of hardware design. You can copyright or trademark like knob designs and things like that, But, when your knob design is based off of something in the British Navy, is it really a trademark? I don't know. All right, so then there we go. So what they're doing is they're reworking Sunglow, and I believe instead of the A range, they're going to go with the 80B design. I'm not 100% sure. Like, Acustica doesn't tell me anything. Believe it or not, they do not tell me what things are based on. All this is like user speculation, and user speculation is what led to all this different censorship going on. Here we go. This is what somebody said. The entire industry is riding on the backs of, I don't know how to pronounce that, Shibishev and Butterworth. Yeah. Used sales cut into new sales. That's actually true. And then, here we go. Somebody brought up AI and machine learning. And that's pretty true. So anyway, yeah, that wraps up this video. I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from. I wish Gearspace didn't censor things the way they did, but because they are the #1 audio website in the world, they, frankly, just like Walmart and Amazon, they don't give a crap about if they lose a few users here and there. Now, I almost said losers. Well, that's what they think. They think we're all a bunch of losers using their message board while their advertisements play on the side panels and in between the messages. But in reality, just like MySpace, the giants can fall. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll start my own message board. Nah, that's too much work. I have too much on my plate. I want to be doing more and spending less time posting about audio stuff. I think I hear a thunderstorm, so I'm going to wrap this video up right now.